Many people struggle to connect their psychological development with their spiritual growth, leaving them feeling lost or disconnected. We often view our spiritual path and our personal growth as separate entities rather than recognizing how they intertwine and inform each other. This disconnection can lead to feelings of fragmentation and chaos, making it difficult to find a sense of direction or purpose. As we navigate the complexities of our inner world, it is easy to get caught up in the noise and lose sight of our spiritual aspirations. By examining the parallels between psychological development and spiritual growth, we can begin to heal this divide and cultivate a deeper understanding of ourselves. But where do we even begin to bridge this gap? Join me as I dive deep into Erikson's development stages and see how I can uncover how they might unlock secrets to our spiritual growth. If you feel called to like, comment, share, and or subscribe to become a part of the Spiritual Tribe, then I thank you in advance. If not, that is completely fine. I am just glad you are here tuning in. So let's begin, shall we? According to Erikson, there are 8 stages of psychological development. In this video, we will only discuss stages 1 through 4 to allow you time to digest. And in part 2, we will discuss stages 5 through 8. These 2 videos will be uncovering how the stages relate to spiritual milestones and personal growth. Stage 1, trust versus mistrust. This is what sets the foundation for our ability to form healthy relationships and trust in the universe. This stage begins at birth and lasts until we're around 18 months to 2 years old. This happens to be one of the most vital stages in our lives because it's what helps shape our view of the world and our personality. When we lose trust and faith in our caregiver, we ultimately lose faith in society and people as a whole. For example, child or children of abuse tend to grow up struggling to have faith and trust in others and believing that they won't be hurt in the same way. When trust is broken at an early age, it sets the tone for how a child may think or act as they develop into other stages of their lives. Interestingly enough, someone who grows up unable to trust others may become untrustworthy themselves, as this is what they have learned growing up. It's good to know also that these stages can be underdeveloped as we age, meaning you can be 50 years old with a mindset of an 18-year-old due to the underdevelopment of one or multiple of these stages. Examples of trusting at this stage are believing in your caregivers, trusting that the world is safe, knowing that your needs will be met, and on the reverse end, distrusting caregivers, fearing the world, unsure that needs will be met are prime examples of not having trust or faith. If these areas aren't worked on, these issues can and will carry or leak into the next stage or phase of development, and I'll be sure to give you more examples of that as we go along. Stage 2, autonomy versus shame and doubt. In this stage, we begin to assert our independence and develop a sense of self. This stage ranges from 18 months to 3 years old. Wherein stage 1 was more so about trusting in others, stage 2 is more so about trusting in ourselves. This is when we become a bit more curious and desire to, do things on our own without the help of our caregiver. For example, dressing ourselves, going to the bathroom or potty training, even learning how to talk or speak up for ourselves. A hindrance to this stage could be an overbearing or overprotective parent and or spoiling or doing everything for the child without allowing them ample space to learn and grow on their own. This stage can be the toughest on parents, as most think, well, they're just only children, when in reality, this is the perfect time for an 18-month to 3-year-old to exercise their critical thinking skills, feel comfortable in their own bodies, gain a greater sense of identity, learn from their own mistakes, make decisions independently, and process their own emotions. When we aren't given the space to develop our skills and think for ourselves, it can hinder us as we mature, causing us to become codependent and easily influenced due to the lack of confidence or critical thinking skills. Stage 3, initiative versus guilt. This stage marks a turning point in our journey and occurs around the ages about 3 to 5 years old. This is where we start to explore our passions and desires, have creative control over some of our choices and decisions, all while being supported and given the space to make mistakes without feeling guilty or shameful about them. A simple example of initiative as a kid or a simple example as initiative is a kid who's eager to raise their hand and to participate in an activity or ask a question. While an example of guilt or shame would be a kid who's too shy to raise his or her hand in class to participate due to some sort of guilt or fear of how others may think or perceive them. This could be due to a neglectful parent at home, feeling bullied, intimidated at school, or anything else that may contribute to a lowered self-esteem. You see, when we are given the support system that we need to grow as we may, we can then mature into an individual who isn't afraid to make or take initiative, try new things, and or maneuver through life confidently. Caregivers who are discouraging or dismissive create a foundation rooted in judgment and fear, ultimately setting a developing child up for additional trials and tribulations, to say the least. Step 4. Industry versus inferiority. This stage occurs during childhood between the ages of about 6 and 11 years old and applies to how us as individuals function. In this stage, we are learning a wide array of emotional and social skills, and much like stage 3, requires a support system willing to aid but also provide the space needed to learn and mature, especially since at this stage, most of our interactions will come from school, friends, and classmates. We slowly learn about what it's like to receive praise and recognition from our peers, which in the long run does build on our confidence. An example of this industriousness could be a kid not fully understanding an assignment, so he or she takes the initiative to ask the teacher for help or ask their parents, and in return receives praise or encouragement for their efforts, leading to more confidence with completing assignments. On the reverse end, an example of inferiority could be a child expressing oneself through what they wear, let's say, just to be criticized and made fun of by other classmates for their individuality, leading to possibly a self-critical nature and possibly no longer having the confidence to think or dress how they want due to the fear of being judged or criticized by others. Each of these strategies are just little milestones in our lives that contribute to our personality, characteristics, the way we think, act, and behave. And like I mentioned before, each subsequent stage builds upon the previous one, shaping our sense of identity, intimacy, and purpose. By examining these stages, we can identify areas where our spiritual growth may be stifled or supported. As we integrate Erikson stages into our spiritual practice, we can begin to address these areas where we may be stuck or stagnant. By recognizing the ways in which our psychological development influences our spiritual growth, we can identify the hidden patterns and blocks that hold us back. This awareness enables us to approach our spiritual practice with a deeper sense of humility and compassion, allowing us to cultivate a more authentic and meaningful connection with ourselves and the world around us. By embracing this integration, we can unlock new levels of spiritual growth and self-awareness, revealing a profound sense of purpose and direction. If you are interested in learning more, please stay tuned for the next video where I will discuss stages 5 through 8 and elaborate on how they correlate to our spiritual path and journey through life. If you found this video to be interesting or helpful in any way, please like, share, comment, subscribe if you feel called to. If not, it is okay. But for now, until next time, bye.